Hello, I'm John Joe. This is Line War. Today we've got a free-for-all between 8 players. So let's just go to player 1. If we can find him. There we go. So we've got Desiring Mars, who is dark blue. I'm not exactly sure where he is, to be fair. Over here, there we go. So we've got Desiring Mars there. And out. Next on the list is Ali the Pigeon. Where is Ali the Pigeon? Looking for Team Red. Oh, we're going to have some quick engagements over here from the third player, Anki, and Green, who is Super Crumpets. He's sending in a lot of infantry straight up there. To be fair, Orange didn't have much areas to grab. He only like this one, and this island here. So, unfortunately, he hasn't really got much options but to go there or try and just survive on this island right in the middle of the map. Anyway, where is Ali the Pigeon? There we go. We found the pigeon. And we have Bob up here, because I can't pronounce this characters. I can't see where pink is. Is that the... No, that's purple. That's Mike. We got Mike on this one little island here, and over here... Is that... That's going to be a bit confusing for me. We got pink here and purple there. That's unfortunate for Mike, having to start all the way over there. Anyway, over here is going to be the first engagement. One of these players must go down, and Crumpets has invested a lot in Navy, which could be helpful, but if Antike gets hit, well, he's going to be a bit overrun right now, which is unfortunate. He can only start with 4 units, so Super Crumpets had the advantage from the get-go, even if he didn't manage to get any production up before realising. And he's rushed his units in. Notice they're not capturing the territory, so they've just rushed in there to try and take out the enemy before they can actually do anything about this. Unfortunately, when you're doing a free-for-all on a map like this, which is mostly islands, you're going to have some conflicts that are going to have some quick people losing out very soon. The energy well does go down, but I don't think it was necessarily needed. He's getting tanks, which do require energy, but you could switch into artillery, which is probably a good idea when you've got these units going around and being so close to the ocean. I do want to have a quick look down here, because I remember Mike was transporting units across the... I was right. Yeah, he's got some units in there. He's got 5 against 6, but there's 3 and 3, so these guys could probably kill these 3 first and outnumber the last 3. We got some missile boats coming in to try and counter any helicopters that launch off. Despite starting on a single island, that does mean he's got a lot of capital left over. So he's number 7. Let's have a look. He's wasted a lot of it, but he doesn't have much income. That is the problem. So I say wasted. And I didn't realise, but he's also being attacked by Desiring Mars. So he's snuck down at the bottom. Both players... Why are you still transporting units? You've got to defend this location here. I think I might have missed out on what's going on over there. Up in the north, we have Super Crumpets, who has ran out of units on the ground. So he's only got 4 units, and only infantry units as well. But, unfortunately, Antike is still going for tanks. You probably want to go into artillery because you've got no energy. Unless I'm missing something. We'll have a quick look just in case he's managed to sneak something in there. No, he's got no energy production. He does still have some energy, so I think he's just trying to use the tanks to overrun, but I'd maybe just get 1. Either way, it looks like Antike will probably get a pushback soon, and I think what his plan is to capture the territory, take control, then build the energy well once again. So I think he's got a plan, and it might work out for him in the end. Desiring Mars is pushing down south, actually taking out Mike with just a couple of infantry. I mean, this is the only island and there's not much left on it at the minute, so Mike's going to have to take over another territory somewhere else very quickly, which he can't do anymore because Carol, or Kobe Carroll, has actually managed to defend against him. Luckily, his SAM are enough to take out those infantry. And he's blocking any more reinforcements coming in with his navy, which are under harassment from these submarines. So a destroyer would be really handy right now. But luckily he's got enough vision to see through the stealth of those submarines. Unfortunately, these players are getting a lot of attention because they're the main ones having engagements right now. I would like to know what these guys are doing. There's some transports going across now. I've noticed he's put his structures right at the back here to try and remain invisible. Or unnoticed, should I say. This player's trying to eco up. We've got industry coming out. It looks like it's just one, so maybe I was a bit preemptive there. But yeah, they could eco up, and they got another one here. But they are kind of in the center of the map, which is going to suck when it comes to late game. There we go, we've got 4 tanks moving in, but he's already used half the energy almost. And he hasn't really made it that far, so he's going to really need to try and pick up the pace here, and he definitely wants to switch into artillery. I keep saying it, but he hasn't done it yet. Also, Super Crumpets is running off just power plants right now. He isn't doing too badly for it. He could have captured some energy in the ocean. Just having a look around, see where everyone else is at. So Ali the Pigeon's already captured quite a bit of land. I think Kobe Carroll, as long as they are able to progress a bit further and they take over this little island here, which both players are doing right now, literally landing at the same time, but one is under harassment. I think Kobe will be able to take over this island. That'll make him quite a dominant player because that's quite a large island to start with. We do have a bit of engagements going on here. It looks like Bob has been discovered by Numpty, and Numpty has sent a cruiser over that way. I'm not sure whose submarine that is. In fact, actually, yes I am, it's Numpty's. Because he's got a sub-pen and the other player doesn't. But those units are going to land, but they are unfortunately going to be surprised by a force that's waiting for them. These tanks now have run out of energy, which is unfortunate, but he needs to switch into something else. He may be a fairly new player who doesn't quite understand the idea of the units that need energy. So tanks require energy, but the artillery and SAM don't. So the only ground unit that requires energy is the tank. All Navy units and all air units require energy to run. So it looks like Super Crumpets is going to get the advantage up here because of that mistake. Which is unfortunate for them, but fortunate for Super Crumpets. Up here, that cruiser has changed its focus. It looks like it's going for this. I think it's actually chasing a transport up here. But he may end up switching their targets to take this out. There is a submarine left there. There we go. He's just switched in for that target now. Numpty's probably got nothing to really worry about on land. He's got quite a large force. Anything that comes in there is going to easily be stopped. But Bob has found another option here. There's a city on this location with 4 industries. A very vulnerable location, unfortunately, but a good location for a little while. As we can see, I think Antike is going to be the first player out here. Unless Mike's unfortunately doing really badly. He's not. He's actually doing alright. Considering they started on one island. One territory only. They're not doing bad at all. And then Kobe decided to go upwards instead of left. Because of the threat of Mike over here. And Mike is literally trapped in the corner of the game right now. Which is unfortunate. I'd like to see it from his point of view. Let's switch out. This is all he can see right now. That is a really unfortunate start to the game. Especially when you're in range of the enemy's aircraft there. So he's going to definitely need some SAM units. He's trying to push across over this side. But it looks like Pink is there waiting for him. Up in the top here though, the infantry literally just walked around these tanks. They found this structure here. There is an airfield being built at the back there, so that will keep them alive a little longer. But Super Crumpets isn't too worried about that right now. He's just going to try and take out the last few structures of Antike there. Red is expanding though. Red has the bottom left-hand corner of the map already claiming this area. So they have this section already. So they're doing pretty good. Blue here is doing amazing, which is Desiring Mars. So he's already got this. That's got to be a good amount of eco for him. And white, which is numpty or black, is doing a really good job there. And to be fair, Bob is actually doing a great job trying to keep hold of anything they can find. There we go. Super Crumpets is now just going to rush that airfield now. He has pretty much taken out the tanks. He probably didn't need to. He could have just ran away a little bit and then taken that structure up. But unfortunately, Super Crumpets is going to be in a never-ending battle by the looks of it. He's just finished off one other player who is building anything and everything just to annoy Super Crumpets right now. And as he does so, some commandos have been dropped off onto Super Crumpets' island. And are quite possibly going to be able to push through, but he's actually pulled away. He might be trying to do something else, and there we go. Antike has lost this round now. And we got the destroyers coming in to try and chase down this transport boat. But it looks like Numpty didn't want to take on this island, as he could probably hear the gunfire, to be fair, so he knew that there was an active engagement there, and his commandos wouldn't be very useful trying to navigate through a battlefield. There we go, the boat is going to try and rush away. Just going to have a quick look over here. Sorry for the beeping, that's Antike, who's just left the game. He didn't want to spectate by the looks of it. And Desiring Mars is just trying to take out the structures over here. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for Mike, but unfortunately Kobe, if they had the energy, they could just send out the strikers and take out those 3 structures. But with a lack of energy here, that is allowing Mike to stay in the game a little longer. So Desiring Mars does have energy just over here at the end of his island, which is quite a vulnerable spot for it. It'd be nice if it was up in the mountains right here, but unfortunately you don't get to choose. So there we go, Red is expanding. They're taking over quite a lot of the ocean. So we'll have a quick look at the income. And as it's going a bit slower, I am just going to try and speed it up a little bit. We'll go into ×2. So we're on 470 from Desiring Mars. That's blue in the top. Ali the Pigeon, 633. That's not bad. It looks like Super Crumpets is on the move as well. Antike is gone. Bob up in the top, light blue, is on 340, who is also under attack, not just from Super Crumpets taking over the territory here, but also from Numpty. So who's this one? This was Bob. 5 is Kobe Carroll, who's the bottom right, 460. Pretty much everyone is on 400, apart from Mike, who's on 200, and Ali the Pigeon, who's got 600. Numpty is also lacking a bit in the eco, to be fair. But is going to be trying to change in that soon. He's going for Bob up in the top here. Now, there's a few artillery here, but because they're only producing commandos, or at least were, I think he switched one out. Commandos aren't really that good when it comes to larger engagements, which I don't know if this would be considered larger engagements. But when you got the artillery grouped up, they can see through the stealth and they'll be able to take them out. Because commandos are kind of like glass cannons. They got very good attack power, but they don't have much health. They rely on their stealth to survive. Look at this, Red has quite a large navy going for himself here. And he's speeding that round over towards this energy well to protect it. Mike just got taken out by some cruisers from Desiring Mars. So he could not stay in paradise on his little island. I mean, you could have just left him be there, Mars. He wasn't really going to be that much of a threat. Leave him on his island, leave him in peace. I'm joking, never take the risk. Anyway, so he's pulled back to set up a defense just to try and hold this land. He's got his cruisers there to try and kill anything that gets too close, but they can't really move because Numpty seems to be out of energy. And Super Crumpets is slowly expanding across the map, unknowingly taking advantage of the battle that's going on over here. But he has just roused Red up here. But I think Red's kind of a defensive player. They seem to be happy to hold on to the territory they've got, not pushing too hard. Not until they're ready, and then they'll just go for it one time. Steamroll an opponent when they've got more information, I think. Not Numpty, Bob has 2 commandos down at the bottom of the map. What are you doing down there? He did manage to take out the defensive artillery over here, though. And there's also got this island by the looks of it. There we go. Crumpets has taken this energy well. And he has quite a few things around here. I mean, if he does control this island, there's a trade route that he could take advantage of. Most of the engagement seems to be over here now. Desiring Mars, seeking another target, has now found Numpty and kind of got caught out there. Sent some cruisers in and they were quite exposed, and the submarines come in and tried to take them out, but luckily for Mars, he does get away with one of them because of the lack of energy on the map. So we do still have another defensive line here. Looks like they were just transported over. The commandos are going to take those out. So Bob is doing a good job of holding his defense there, even with what little he has. And we have another player now who has managed to expand the territory that they own, which is number 6. Not quite. Number 5. What is your eco now? So it's just nearly 600. For pink in the bottom here, I would just like to have an expanded view so we can see Red's over here. Red's taken up some territory in the ocean there. Bob's over here. No, Bob's up here. And we've got Numpty there trying to take over him. You can see Crumpets is slowly expanding across the islands. And Desiring Mars is still trying to find some targets. Deciding not to go over the top, but going to the bottom to take out this navy yard they've just found. Which could be bad news for Numpty, as he's got an industry right here, which is just a few, like, not far away from it, is what I mean. I can hear something being blown up. Is this? Bob didn't want that structure anymore, so he's got rid of it. Now he's got his transport boats collecting some territories. Also, you can see the defensive line he's put here. So he's got a nice little curve at the end here, because if the units come through this section, they're going to be hit from multiple sides there. But Super Crumpets is looking like he's going to have quite a good amount of energy to run. And I'd say energy is going to be key on a map like this. Numpty is also trying to take care of some finances and get rid of some structures that they don't necessarily need. Strikers are on the move. Where are they going to? They got an airstrip in this defensive area here. So they're just extending their reach. And it looks like we have some units coming down from Super Crumpets here. So they are literally just going behind Red's army there, missing the transport boats just by like centimeters. But Red has noticed this move and is now changing their direction. Unfortunately, I don't think they realised the severity here, and these ships might be going for the energy wells here, and they're going to come in through the side, but the strikers are coming in to take them out. There is no anti-air on these ships. They are just destroyers. Well, they do have anti-air, but they're not missile ships, as I usually get confused between destroyers and missile ships. The strikers were enough to at least tell them to go away, which they did. And Blue is on the move towards Numpty on this island over here. So we got the artillery being placed straight away. Numpty has spotted this and he's got his units all trying to come down here. And the factory is there and it's started to produce, it looks like, artillery there as well. So he's going to be able to hold that island, I think, depending on how many units that we can send across. We've got quite a few actually. Especially with a ship swarming the island, it's going to be hard to find a safe location on it. So Numpty's probably not going to be able to hold that island for very long. Not without bringing in some navy units. And Red went on the offensive over here, and Crumpets is going for his energy. I don't think that's going to have much effect. There's tons of power plants. He can run off that for a little bit. In fact, we should probably view it from his energy side of things. So we got 280 energy in storage. So Crumpets might think that this would be a key thing to target right now, but he might just want to focus on some defense. It's definitely worth taking out, don't get me wrong. Oh, Numpty has just lost, so Numpty gave in the flag as he's being attacked from here. He couldn't take out Bob over there, so he decided to give up and give in. We have an aircraft carrier there on the ground here, which is going to get taken out if he's not careful. He needs to move that out of the way. He's got some cruisers at the front line here trying to take on these navy yards. And he split them into two groups with strike commands there, and that ship does go down. These strikers will just end up flying off with nowhere to go and blow up when they run out of fuel. The helicopters are coming in to defend right now, but that was quite a heavy attack and a fairly good one. It took out quite a lot of structures there. And I think it's very good what they've done here. They haven't wasted too much money on getting their production going because they don't need to, because this map's quite limited on eco, but the energy is very key. And despite having almost no energy locations, they've built quite a few power plants. 3 of these is equal to about 1 energy well. They cost the same, so it's not very effective, but on a map like this, having a lot of power plants could be key. And he's got another almost 3 wows worth of power plants and 2 wows. So I'd say he's got the most energy at the minute. Right, so who is conquering Numpty's old location? It looks like Bob is over here. He's just jumped down. Sorry, I couldn't tell if that was green then. It looked like Super Crumpets to me. But Desiring Mars is also on the island, ready to get there. And he's got quite a few units here that could jump across. What is Kobe Carroll doing? Just organising the navy units. I would like to check out whether Kobe has a decent amount of energy. Got a lot of storage, but only 1 energy well there. And a power plant. Desiring Mars also only has 1 energy well, I think. Can't see any others directly right now. And oh yeah, and that one, sorry. The original one. Over here we have the engagement there. There's a lot of commandos here and only 1 artillery, which is going to get swarmed. I think the SAM units are going to get taken out very easily right now, but the commandos would probably lose a couple. I'm assuming he's got something to retreat to. Yeah, he's got a few more coming in now. He didn't want to take the risk. So he's sending in some extra units to overwhelm them. Desiring Mars is bringing up quite a sizable navy over here, mostly cruisers, which are going to be great at taking out stuff on the coastlines, which there's a lot of on this map. And we can see Red's taken over this island, but he's left it relatively undefended, and he's about to get attacked by Super Crumpets and by Carroll over here, or Kobe Carroll, which is extremely unfortunate. This is just bad timing for Ali the Pigeon. He's having to split up his forces into 2 groups. We've got a defensive force on both of these energy wells. We've got the aircraft that are coming in to try and defend. And we've got a group splitting off over towards Super Crumpets by the looks of it. But I don't think he's too worried about Super Crumpets. Super Crumpets is retreating. 1 energy well does go down. And these bombers are going to do quite a lot of work over the ocean here. There are a few missile ships though. And we've got a lot of interceptors coming in. So these interceptors will definitely take out those bombers assuming they don't fly over the Navy for too long and get themselves blown up first. But also, Ali the Pigeon does have his own bombers. I want to see what's going on around the map, just in case. So it looks like Bob did manage to take over this island. Did stop... I was going to say he did stop Desiring Mars, but he hasn't, because Desiring Mars went for the other end as well. Over here, it looks like Kirby Carroll just lost this location. They only just got it, but they have lost it already. But they did take out both energy wells of Ali the Pigeon. Super Crumpets are slowly progressing forward again. They can try and go for this island now. They got a lot of artillery support from the ocean here. And they're just trying to build up their numbers to try and push through with those artillery as well. And Super Crumpets is going for a city. This is a very risky city. I mean, we have an army of cruisers here that could just come over and blow it up right now, and that would be quite a lot of wasted eco. And then Super Crumpets is on the other side, blowing up someone else. I mean, that was so close in vision. I could imagine, actually, Desiring Mars should be able to see that, right? Yeah, he can. So we're just looking for his view now, I think. Unless, well, no, we're not. There you go, now we're looking for his view. So you can see that City's there, and that Industry's there. So he can see there's a whole city there that he could snipe. I know he's a bit concerned about a battle that's going on here, but he could have seen it as he was going across. Might have just been worth targeting it. Because you don't want your enemy to have, any of your enemies to have a city at this point. Not in a game like this. Super Crumpets has now taken control over this island. And has now gotten a large amount of helicopters. Bob just resigned, he's quit the game. So now we're just left with, I don't even know how many we've got left. One. We've got Desiring Mars in the top right. We've got Kobe Carroll in the bottom left, bottom right. Ali the Pigeon in the bottom left, and Super Crumpets top left. Is that all the players? Yes, it is. But Desiring Mars has the ability to conquer this map a bit faster, or at least this new opening. However, Super Crumpets does have a really good sizable force here of navy and helicopters. Though Ali does have quite a few interceptors, the Super Crumpets is prepared for them and he's coming out with his missile ships. Did not get the kill though, not on that one. The helicopter went down. So the interceptor got their kill and the missile ships weren't able to quite get theirs. We have another movement. We got Desiring Mars is now going for Ali the Pigeon. I find that really strange. It's like they're all teaming up against him. He's just a pigeon, it's fine. And we have a nuke coming out. Again, quite exposed there. Super Crumpets has taken the risk in this, but if you don't take the risk, you don't get the reward. I am super surprised that Desiring Mars does not target this city over here. But I think he's deciding to cut the corners and go across the map for an unexpected attack here. But he's also right next to a town and industry here, which he decides to leave for now. And I can imagine that they must be able to see him. I feel like everyone didn't like red in this game. Super Crumpets is surrounding him with an army, well, a navy at north. Kobe Carroll is going right into the bottom, blocking any escape that he may have. And Desiring Mars is going to cut straight through the middle. They have literally decided to call in a non-aggressive pact between each other just to target red. I feel like something happened in the game. Maybe they were chatting and someone said something wrong. I can imagine this is what would happen if that was the case. If anyone was playing this map and is watching this video, let me know why everyone decided to target Ali the pigeon at this point. Desiring Mars is really struggling on energy. And they do have a good eco right now, so it would be wise to try and get some power plants set up. I think that's the problem, because power plants don't actually give you that much. It's 1/3 the amount of normal ones. It's really hard for people to actually make the decision to choose a worse option. But if you don't, you're going to fall behind. We've got the helicopters coming in now as Red's forces tried to move forwards. Super Crumpets pulled back his scouts and sent in the helicopters. Ali the Pigeon doesn't like what's going on over here. We've got some units being transported over and they're going to get taken on by the Red Navy. Why are these ground units going straight towards the Navy? I can imagine there's a good distraction at least. But you kind of want what you got on the ground here. Just go straight for it. Super Crumpets is getting chased by Desiring Mars as they both enter Red's territory in the ocean. And again, deciding to pull away from each other, or at least let Super Crumpets go. And is just going to control this area of the map. There definitely wasn't a non-aggressive pact, because if there was, Desiring Mars just broke it. He's gone for that city like I said, but there's a rocket right there. That could be quite a big threat for him. And there's quite a large Navy force going up towards him, but they're going to get chased by Desiring Mars' Navy that was stuck in the south, who are going to get intercepted by the helicopters coming in, flying over, taking on most of these ships so the Navy don't have to. And he is out of energy, so these black smoke plumes you see coming out means they're going to take more damage as they get shot at there. Ali the Pigeon has set up a defense on the land to try and protect his power plants. He's done that really quick, to be fair. And he's going to be trying to plow through, and he'll very much likely will be able to take over this territory once again. Desiring Mars does manage to escape with most of his navy. And Super Crumpets is getting some good vision over all of his map there. Does Super Crumpets go for the trade route? He does. I'm going to have a quick look at the ecos. We've only got 4 players left. The helicopters are coming in over there. We've got another nuke coming in. So Super Crumpets is going heavy into nukes. Desiring Mars has 1,100 in eco right now. Ali the Pigeon has only 686. That surprises me. He's been doing quite well for that. And now we've got Super Crumpets, who's on 1,400. He's got a lot of eco. That trade route is really paying dividends for him. And then Kobe is doing 900. So Red Team is actually doing the worst when it comes to eco. Partly why it surprised me that he was teamed up on almost. That looks like a commando drop came in then. We got the transport jets coming in. They're trying to take over this territory as it's pretty much open for the taking, which is going to be extremely unfortunate as a trade route looks like it was being set up. Yeah, they're trying to set up their trade routes, and this was a key part of 2 of them by the looks of it. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be able to keep it for that much longer. We have some movement in the south. It looks like some bombers might be targeting. One's just gone off ahead over the others. There you go, they're going to be targeting this energy well over here. I think that when you've got so much going on, especially with 8-player free-for-alls, some of the aircraft decide to do some weird things, I've noticed. Every time we've played with so many units, or with too much going on the map, the aircraft seem to decide to wibble their way back to the airstrips, or they start off funny. But usually once they're there, they're perfectly fine and they do their attacks, but it's usually their starting or end runs. He does manage to get a couple of units over. Unless they were there already and I didn't see them. But unfortunately they're not going to last much longer, but he is going to be able to save this town. He does lose the docks. My headphones just came up. There we go. I'll put that back in. Now I can hear again. There we go. Pink sending in the bombers into the bottom, which is very exposed by air, actually. They've got no anti-air. These bombers are just going to get free hit. And the submarines are sneaking in there by the looks of it. I don't know whose that is. I can't see any colours on them. I don't think you can really tell with submarines. I thought they were attacking red, but I think they would be in range there. Did they just drop some commandos off here? Why is he... He's got a command set up like that, so they're coming out of this and dropping them off here. I think they might have been sent across via a transport jet from here to there. And he's still trying to send them across, but these guys are picking them up again and sending them off again. They're doing some training. They're doing paratroop training. Do I hear a rocket? I do. I hear 2 rockets. I didn't see a third there. Unfortunately for red, that's going to destroy quite a lot of his infrastructure. The city is heavily damaged because they don't get taken out by 1 nuke. But he's lost a lot of his power production. Luckily, the storage stayed intact. So he should be able to come back from this. It's not the end of the world, but he does need to find those nuclear silos or rocket silos before it's too late. And he could defend with this one if he wanted to, but I'm pretty sure that one's ready for Desiring Mars. And we got some commando jets coming in now. Dropping off those infantry. And some helicopters. They can reach all the way over here as well from that island. But red decides to give up. That's it now. Super Crumpets has acquired that land as well. But then I assume Kobe Carroll would also have spotted this too. And they'll be able to send some transports over as soon as they have them available. But it looks like they're out of energy, so that's going to be a bit of a struggle for him for now. Over here, Desiring Mars has seen what's been going on this island, and he's taken out the city that was there. There is still the rocket, but Super Crumpets is out of energy. There we go, so Super Crumpets has a lot of storage, but he doesn't have much energy left over. He's got 2 power plants, 3 power plants, and energy well, another one there. So he's doing alright, and he will be able to take over these areas now. Super Crumpets is trying to take advantage that he just acquired, but Kobe Carroll is denying him access to this area with the bombers that's there. And they're over the missiles, so he's going to be able to take out these missiles whilst taking control over this island potentially. He just can't cross the island, whereas Super Crumpets already has. And the rocket just got sent off in time and is going for this location just here. He's taken out the industry, but again the city does survive. And the helis come over to try and clear out the navy that was there trying to harass the rocket silo. But Super Crumpets is once again struggling with his energy. That's why he didn't respond earlier as well with the helicopters, because it would have stopped his energy. So he needed the energy to save up a bit to fire the rocket. He didn't mind losing it, he just wanted to fire it. Green's submarines over here. Super Crumpets is going for Desiring Mars. The submarines surrounding a couple of the blue cruisers. And he does manage to snipe a few of those units. We have a rocket from Pink on the field now, but it's just a silo, and he hasn't managed to get a rocket there yet. I assume he's struggling with the eco, which is, yeah, it's progressing quite slowly. It's going to take him a while to be able to get that rocket. We got some subs versus subs over here. But also, we've got quite a few units trying to chase them down, and they could be leading into a trap here. We've got quite a few Navy units here. Super Crumpets is trying to put them on circle commands to just control a few at the time, which I believe is pretty much due to, well, for energy management. With the fact that he's got so many Navy ships over here. What's going on now? So we've got Kobe Carroll taking over some territory down here, trying to expand their eco. Super Crumpets is trying to deal with having too much of a navy. Everyone seems to be struggling with energy at this point. Super Crumpet seems to have decided that it's worth taking on these ships. He's got mostly destroyers here against mostly subs. He should be able to take them on. But as you can see, Kobe Carroll's decided to send in some air units, which I assume are the bombers. Yeah. But that's not the only engagement going on right now. Crumpets is also trying to take on Desiring Mars at the same time. Deciding it's worth going 2v2. 2v1, sorry. And the rocket in the north has been fired finally. It does go off and takes out most of the defences here. But there is still a navy here in place defending it, and Super Crumpets is literally just rolling over them right now. Especially as they're black smoking, and that's going to cause them to take more damage. There we go, we can see how fast they go down when they're smoking like that. At this point, you kind of just want to try and line them up somewhere nicely. Just leave them there for a bit. I would say lose some ground, but it's in the ocean. Super Crumpets does sneak in and take out that city before it could fully repair. And we do have another nuke silo there. It's still standing. He's deciding whether he should blow it up or not. But he could fire it still, so it could work as a defensive nuke. Or he might have to get rid of it just to save on some eco. It looks like someone tried writing their name here. It's got an S right here. So it looks like we're at a bit of a stalemate now. Mostly because people are struggling with their energy and we've got too many units on the field. Or in the ocean. Got some submarines trying to sneak out over here, trying to stay undercover. But unfortunately getting caught out by some reinforcements coming in through new navy yards up there. But they were some good scouts there for, I assume, Super Crumpets. Just trying to find some vision around the map. So Super Crumpet seems to control the islands down here. And does control in the ocean as well. It's got quite a large force. Let's have a quick look at how divided the map is. It is going to have to be a 2v1 in a minute. If it's not, Super Crumpets is just going to completely dominate the map. So we got 910 there from Kobe Carroll. Desiring Mars has 1,200. He's doing really well for himself, actually, so I don't think we need to worry too much. And then Super Crumpets has 1,600. So Super Crumpets definitely has the most here. But it's certainly not like he's got double the amount, despite having half of the map. Got the bombers coming in, try and take it on these guys. We've got the transports moving directly through the Navy into a swarm of helicopters. I don't think that was meant to happen at all. I think the units were just trying to take a chance to try and get onto this island, but it didn't quite go as planned. I mean, look at how Super Crumpets has control on this ocean. Nothing was going to get through that unnoticed. And Desiring Mars does have their trade route set up now. They got 2, so this could escalate quite a lot. Oh, we do have another player gone out, so now it is a 1v1. Super Crumpets is now left to fight Desiring Mars with an eco of 1,600 versus 1,200. But it really depends who can control the rest of the map the fastest. Fortunately, I do think it is Super Crumpets. He simply just has the most energy. There we go. It looks like Desiring Mars waved the white flag, leaving Super Crumpets to be the winner of the 8-player free-for-all. I always love watching the 8-player free-for-alls. I've tried to do them myself. I've managed to play about 2 or 3, and I've always found them absolutely brilliant fun to try and do. Even if I lose first, I don't mind. I like the free-for-alls. I think they're great, especially to watch them as 8-player free-for-alls. But yeah, I would like to see more of those types of matches if you can, guys. And if you can't, then don't worry too much. It's still great to watch. Anyway, there are 2 more videos on screen right now. Feel free to click on one and I'll see you there. See you around.